XDefiant fans, it is Preach as always. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, do we have some intense controversy on our hands with XDefiant right now. In a game where the developers have been open and honest about everything and seem to really be in tune with their player base, they may have actually made one of the most tone deaf decisions of all time, and a lot of players are not happy about it at all. Today, we are going to discuss what they did wrong, look at some of the feedback from the community, and discuss what can be done to fix this before XDefiant cuts off their own legs this early in the life of the game. But before we jump into all of that, if you guys like this video, you already know what to do. Smash that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new here, and turn those bell notifications on if you want to know every time I post a new video. Now, I want to start by addressing my video from yesterday. I covered all of the patch notes, but I focused more on the changes that affect gameplay, and in my opinion, all of those things are positive changes. However, I just mentioned the weapon mastery grind in passing as I read through the patch notes because I had a lot of other things I needed to cover yesterday. With that said, today we are going to discuss this new weapon leveling system and the mastery camo grind because quite frankly, XDefiant fumbled the bag on this one. So, as I'm sure you already know, previously you were required to reach level 50 for bronze camo, level 75 for silver camo, and level 100 for gold camo on each weapon. The new system has doubled each of these, requiring level 100, 150, and 200 respectively. They said they wanted to make it harder to reach the mastery camos and easier to get attachments, but they did not balance this out well at all. I'm not sure who did the math to figure this out, but a Twitter user or X user, whatever you want to call it, 17NV1, said that these changes result in only a 15% boost toward leveling for attachments. Well, even with requiring 500 less XP per level, still creating a 71% larger grind for gold camo. Now, I watched a Nero Cinema video this morning where he said that according to his own gun stats, this is now going to require around 6,000 kills or kills and assists combined per gun to reach gold camo. Now, I haven't verified this math myself, but this is an absolutely absurd grind, and I think this is going to run XDefiant into a few problems that they may not have anticipated. Not only in causing some players to potentially not even stick with the game, but in killing the variety of weapons people play with as they give up on the camo grind and just go back to using the guns they are most comfortable with. And something even worse, cause players to ignore the objective even more than they already do because kills and assists are the only thing gaining them weapon XP, which is now more valuable than ever with XDefiant if you want to actually reach the mastery camos with your weapons. I can't speak for everyone, but I know for me personally, this just ensured that I will never touch the shotguns and likely never touch the LMGs because my only purpose in using those classes is to get the mastery camos. But there is no way I am grinding out 6,000 kills on an AA-12 shotgun. It's not happening. Now, there is some potential that XDefiant devs can go back and change this and revert it to the old system. However, I think that is relatively unlikely. What I do think is a very good possibility is them searching for a new balance somewhere between the original implementation and this new abomination of a camo grind that they have created. So I want to throw some ideas out there that I think would go a long way to winning the players back over while also still making sure we have to work for our mastery camos. Some of these ideas are my own, some have come from comments in my video from yesterday, and some have come from comments I have read on X or Twitter. I'll make sure to credit the ideas that were not my own, but I'm going to start with mine. I mentioned this briefly in yesterday's video, but I think it would go a really long way to improving how the game is played as a whole and winning fans over to give out weapon XP for playing the objective. Maybe every 5 seconds on the objective gives you the same weapon XP as 1 kill. Or in Hotshot, every enemy or even friendly tag or token collected also gives you the same weapon XP as 1 kill. This would not only help players get through this grind a little bit faster, but would also highly incentivize playing the objective, which would make the entire game more fun for everybody. And personally, I think this would be the best implementation. Last week, I made a video talking about how Mark Rubin said that a player who went 3-33 was the most effective player on his team because of his nearly 4,000 objective score. And if Mark truly believes this, then that player should be rewarded for playing the objective that hard. Because as it stands right now, all he got was a measly 300 experience points for his 3 kills, or 1/10 of the required XP that it takes to level up your gun currently in the game, one single level. Meanwhile, the guy who got 47 kills in that game, that Mark considered ineffective because he didn't play the objective, got over a level and a half completed in one gun in a single match, while according to Mr. Rubin, not actually helping his team win. Now, this isn't to rehash who was right or wrong about the effectiveness of winning a match in XDefiant, but to say that there needs to be a better reward system for that guy who is getting over 3,000 objective score and really trying hard to win the game, even though they may struggle in the actual gunfights. To me, it is a little hypocritical to say this is how you should play the game, focus on the OBJ and go for the win, while simultaneously only rewarding players who are focusing on kills. At this point, as things currently stand, why would you focus on anything besides kills? There truly is no incentive other than the pride of a win for taking your attention away from getting as many kills as possible. Now, I had a comment on my video yesterday from Admiral Alyssa with a pretty unique idea for XP improvement that I would like to share with you as well. They said, crazy idea. When you win, that 2K Victor bonus counts as weapon XP for all guns. That way, both Slayers and OBJ players have an actual incentive to win the game and not just farm kills, as the W grinds camos faster than any other method. And with all guns getting XP, all the complaining about the additional 100 weapon ranks will disappear, as progress will be steady across the board, even allowing them to raise the levels another 100 each season as new mastery skins release. Now, I think having this apply to all weapons is a little over the top, but if you apply it to either the gun you finished the game with or the gun you spent the most time using in the game, this would really speed up the process of the camo grind, while again go a really long way to incentivize trying to win the game. I also think Chris Duarte, otherwise known as the Call of Duty professional Parasite, had some great perspective on this that he shared with Mark Rubin on Twitter. And his status as a pro player, along with the fact that he is a co-host on 2 different podcasts with Aches, another former pro who is actually a developer on XDefiant, Parasite may actually have a big enough voice to be heard and have an impact on the game. Parasite said this: your players are running into an issue right now where they feel like they have nothing to grind for that feels rewarding, and you're artificially inflating said grind by tweaking XP and such. It doesn't feel good. If players felt like the grind was more attainable, they would play more. Artificially inflating progression that lacks rewards is not how you keep people playing. It'll drive them away. If you add additional camos to each gun or other forms of progression to keep people chasing weapon levels, besides seeing the number go up, again, people would complain less. Art team needs to get to work and start using some of the basic / uncommon camos you'd otherwise put in the shop and throw them into the weapon camo pool. If you don't add more sense of progression and rewards for hitting small milestones, players are going to quit. I grinded gold, and I only did it in anticipation for more mastery, but it was miserable, and I was grinding through the 50 plus, and nothing would change besides my number going up. I couldn't just wait to be down and use another gun because of how bored I was in the current gun. So, honestly, this is one of the biggest issues to come out of the change, in my opinion. Once you have your attachments, with the mastery camos being so far away, it feels as if you're playing towards nothing for a long time, watching level after level pass by with nothing to show for it. Maybe adding in some other rewards along the way would help the grind not to feel so bad, but still yet, I think they need to come back down a little bit. Now, personally for me, I would keep bronze at 50, move silver to 100, and gold to 150. This would allow you to add in the next mastery camo at 200 and then go up as you add more and more camos into the game, and it is still an increase on the base levels that were originally in the game, but not quite as insane as it is now. The entire idea behind all of this is to drive player retention and player engagement, and the system as it stands with this new patch is going to have a hard time retaining players, in my opinion. Now, quickly, before we close the video, I did have several YouTube comments yesterday saying that their game was constantly crashing after yesterday's patch, and I haven't seen anything about this addressed by the developers in my brief search, but hopefully it is something that they are aware of and trying to fix as soon as possible. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about these leveling changes and what you think can be done to make things better. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, you already know what to do. Smash that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new here, and turn those bell notifications on if you want to know every time I post a new video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Preach out.